Hey everyone, welcome back to the Incredible India podcast series. I'm Taylor, and I'm ready to dive deep into a genuinely fascinating corner of the globe.
And I'm Sam. It's great to be here, Taylor.
Today, our mission, our deep dive, takes us somewhere truly off the beaten path.
Way off the beaten path.
They're focusing on Majuli Island in Assam. This is a destination that honestly feels like one of India's best-kept secrets.
It really does.
I mean, it's globally recognized as the world's largest river island, but so few travelers have even heard of it.
And that's key. We're defining Majuli not just by its geography, but, by its identity. It's a living museum, yes, but I think a better term is a time capsule.
A time capsule, I like that.
It's a place where these 500-year-old traditions, especially the Neo-Vaishnavite culture and the Sattriyas, they aren't just artifacts. They are the central organizing principle of life.
So we've been immersing ourselves in sources that detail Majuli's really dramatic geography, its spiritual significance, the authentic experiences you can have, and of course the logistics.
And our goal here is to really cut through the noise and just give you that essential nuggets. We want to equip you to understand what's at stake when you visit Majuli so you can really appreciate the depth of what you're seeing.
Okay, so let's start with that geographic reality. The sheer scale is, well, it's hard to wrap your head around.
It really is.
It is the world's largest river island. We're talking 880 square kilometers. That is just massive.
But here's where the story gets really urgent. That number, that 880 square kilometers, it's significantly reduced.
Reduced from what?
Our sources confirm the island has shrunk from its original size of 1,250 square kilometers.
Wow.
Yeah, that's almost a 30% reduction in size, all due to relentless river erosion.
So this isn't just some static piece of land. It's a dynamic, a constant battleground against the Brahmaputra River.
Exactly. The river shapes absolutely everything. I mean, the geography is literally shifting day by day.
And the monsoons must play a huge part in that.
A huge part. The river floods vast areas, which creates these rich wetlands that are crucial for the local ecology. But those floods also deposit fertile alluvial soil. So it's this constant negotiation between the people and the raw power of nature.
It's incredible. And even as the physical land shrinks, the cultural anchors, these Sattriyas, they seem to keep the spiritual life of Majuli steady.
That's the perfect way to put it.
So let's talk about that cultural heart.
Huh.
Majuli is the sacred birthplace of Assamese Neo-Vaishnavism.
And to give some context, this isn't just local folklore. This legacy goes back to the 15th century. A saint scholar, Shinarmanta Sankardeva, established the movement there.
And what did that do for the island?
He essentially transformed Majuli into a sanctuary, a sort of cultural laboratory where religious philosophy was blended with local art, literature, music, and dance. It's absolutely central to the region's identity.
And this uniqueness, it's gaining global recognition, right? It's got a UNESCO nomination.
It does, and that nomination is vital. It recognizes this unique combination of nature, spiritual life, and living tradition. But honestly, it also highlights the desperate need for international support to combat the erosion.
It's a race against time.
It really is a race against time to save this incredible cultural library.
So given that constant threat, the preservation efforts inside the Sattriyas become even more critical. You call them living museums. What are they exactly?
So a Sattriya is basically a monastic institution, a center for devotion, culture, and learning. There are 22 active Sattriyas on Majuli, and they've been the guardians of Assamese culture for over 500 years.
So if you visit, you're not looking at static exhibits behind glass. You're witnessing real monastic life.
Unfiltered, authentic monastic life, yeah.
What does that daily routine look like?
It's very formalized. The day begins incredibly early, well before dawn. Visitors can actually observe the morning prayers, which are known as Nam Prasanga.
Nam Prasanga. And what is that?
It's a very specific style of congregational singing and chanting. It starts around 4:30 in the morning.
4:30.
I know. It's a collective spiritual exercise, less a performance, more the primary way the community worships together.
And the sources also highlight these incredible treasures kept inside the Sattriyas. Manuscript libraries.
Oh, yes. Aniani Satra, for instance, has over 300 ancient manuscripts.
300.
And these texts, they're often written on something called sanchi bark, which is this very delicate but durable material. Some of these have survived for over 400 years in a humid, subtropical climate.
400 years. That's just mind-boggling. But how do they preserve them? Is there a conflict between traditional methods and, modern climate control.
That is a key point of tension. The
Hmm.
monks, they strongly prefer traditional methods.
So no modern chemicals.
No, they avoid them meticulously. They use specialized oils and natural substances, and crucially, they continue the practice of copying manuscripts by hand onto new bark.
Wow, so it's not just preservation.
It's active perpetuation. It's a cultural statement. For them, it's about the physical practice of writing, not just a digital backup.
And I found it interesting that the Sattrias seem to have specializations. One for masks, another for manuscripts.
Right. It's a very deliberate focus. Kamaluri Sattriya is known for classical arts. Dakhimpat Sattriya, that's where you see the most sophisticated mask making.
And Aniati has the artifacts.
Exactly. This kind of division of labor ensures that all forms of the culture are maintained across the island. It minimizes the risk if one area succumbs to the river.
Smart. Let's move on to those dynamic cultural forms, the dance and the drama. Sattriya dance is the star here, isn't it?
It is. Sattriya is one of India's recognized classical dance forms, but its context in Majuli is everything.
What do you mean by context?
When you see it perform there, you're witnessing it in its original function, as a medium of prayer, as devotion.
Not entertainment.
Not entertainment. The training starts for boys as young as 7, learning the intricate footwork and the detailed hand gestures, the mudras.
And the music that goes with it must be just as important.
It is. That's where the Borgiate comes in. These are devotional songs. They're generally slow, very profound, and they rely on the distinct rhythm of the khol drums and the brass tall cymbals. The effect is intensely moving.
Now, for travelers, the sources point to one specific, almost magical time to visit, and that's for the Ras Leela.
The Ras Festival is absolutely phenomenal. It happens between October and February, usually around the full moon. The entire island it transforms.
And it brings the stories of Krishna to life.
Vividly, through elaborate dance, music, and just stunning handcrafted costumes. It's a total immersion in myth and color.
What's great is that it sounds really accessible.
Yeah.
The sources say travelers are very welcome.
They are. You can often watch rehearsals and really feel like you're part of the community, which is not always the case with major religious festivals.
And this all leads directly to another one of the island's most incredible art forms,
Ah.
mask making.
Yes, the sophisticated folk art of mask making, or mukas. They're used in the Baona performances, which are the religious dramas.
We're not just talking about simple paper mache here, are we?
Oh, not at all. These are organic sculptures. They start with a lightweight bamboo frame. Then that's covered in a paste of local clay mixed with cow dung.
Cow dung? Really?
Yes, and that recipe is vital. It gives it both strength and a surprisingly smooth surface for painting.
So every color, every design must have a specific meaning.
Precisely. They use natural pigments like red ochre for demons or white for deities. The master craftsmen have this deep, deep knowledge of iconography, so the audience instantly recognizes the character.
Oh, you can actually see them being made.
You can. Many satras, like Dakhimpat, offer workshops where you can observe the whole process up close. It's fascinating.
Okay, let's shift from these incredible arts to the everyday, to the people who live here, especially the Mizing tribes.
The Mizing people are integral to Majuli's identity. Their architecture is one of the most visible signs of how they've adapted to the river.
The house is on stilts.
Exactly. They're called changars. And building them high above the ground isn't an aesthetic choice. It's a necessary engineering solution for the monsoon floods.
A powerful lesson in resilience. And what about their crafts? I read that hand loom weaving is critical for the women of the island.
It's fundamental to female identity and the domestic culture there. They produce some of Assam's finest silks, especially the prized golden muga silk, which is indigenous to the region.
And the patterns are unique.
Very unique. Each family has its own signature patterns and color combinations passed down through generations. So when you buy a textile, you're really buying a piece of a specific family's heritage.
That's incredible. Okay, finally, the food. What are the unique flavors of this river island?
Well, rice is the foundation, of course.
Yes.
But the signature dish is mazur tanga, sourfish curry.
Sourfish curry.
It uses sweetwater fish from the Brahmaputra, cooked in this tangy sauce made from local tomatoes or lemon. It's light, refreshing, perfect for the climate. And they also steam food wrapped in banana leaves, which gives it this wonderful earthy flavor.
My mouth is watering. So for our listeners who are now ready to pack their bags, let's talk logistics. How do you actually get to this island?
The ferry services are the lifeline, and they're charmingly rustic. The main route is between Niyamati Ghat, which is near Jorhat, and Kamalari Ghat on Majuli.
And it's a short trip.
Yeah, about 45 minutes to an hour. And it's incredibly affordable, maybe 10 to 15 rupees.
Any crucial tips for that ferry crossing?
You have to remember, the river sets the schedule. So ferry operations can be really unpredictable during the deep monsoon from June to September.
Okay.
And always, always arrive early, especially during peak season because these ferries get crowded very, very quickly.
Once you're on the island, homestays seem to be the way to go for an authentic experience.
They're absolutely the best choice. Very budget-friendly,
Yeah.
and they often include home-cooked traditional meals. Staying in a Masing tribal homestay is an experience in itself.
A good place for a digital detox, too, I hear.
A mandatory one, yes. Wi-Fi is variable, to say the least.
And to get around. Bicycles.
Absolutely. The island is flat, so cycling is perfect. Rentals are cheap, maybe 100 to 200 rupees a day. It lets you explore at your own pace and have those spontaneous, meaningful interactions with local people.
So wrapping up the planning, what's the best time to visit?
You really want to aim for November to February. The weather is cool and pleasant, around 15 to 25 degrees Celsius, and most importantly, this is when the major festivals happen, especially the magnificent Raz Purnima Festival.
And a quick word on etiquette. It's essential for respectful travel in sacred places like the Sattrias.
This is so important. Dress code is strict. You have to cover your shoulders and legs and always take your shoes off before entering prayer halls.
And no leather, right?
Right. Avoid carrying leather items. And of course, maintain silence during prayers and always ask permission before you take a photograph of a person or an artifact.
So what this all comes down to, really, is that Majuli is this rare gem. It's this combination of breathtaking nature, profound spiritual tradition, and a culture that's just fiercely committed to preserving itself against overwhelming odds.
I think if you connect this to the bigger picture, Majuli is just a powerful case study in human adaptation. Its very existence is an ongoing daily struggle, yet its spiritual and artistic life remains so steady. It's this evolving relationship between land, water, and culture that, we're just lucky we can still witness.
It truly sounds like an unforgettable destination, both beautiful and deeply important. If you decide to travel to Majuli and Assam, we have a recommendation. Five Senses Tours organizes tours across India, which are immersive cultural experiences. You can email contact@fivesensestours.com or WhatsApp to +919-845-677-446